But look, what did it take for us to get to the point of an apology? We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it. And the reason they felt they needed to do that, Jesse, is because if they told their audience the truth, that when gas is the most expensive it's been, flights are super expensive, that 5,000 kids decided to spend a weekend in summer traveling across the country to go hear from conservative speakers, maybe the audience of The View would think twice about all of their ideas. That's why they felt so compelled to try to smear our wonderful summit this last weekend.
What do you get when Charlie Kirk slaps The View with a $100 million lawsuit and Sunny Hostin completely unravels live on national television? Not a debate, a full-blown soap opera. Picture this. Subpoenas flying, courtroom drama meets daytime meltdown, and enough unintentional comedy to rival a stand-up set. As Sunny starts to lose her grip on air, Whoopi shooting side eyes sharp enough to slice steel, while Charlie positions himself as the victim of verbal violence. Meanwhile, the audience is left scrambling to keep track. Who's shouting, who's crying, and who's lawyering up. And spoiler alert, it's not the attorneys who crack first.
Charlie Kirk's the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So, Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to neo.
Now let's talk about that glorious $100 million lawsuit. Yep, $100 million. That number's so wildly oversized it doesn't sound like a legal filing. It sounds like Charlie Kirk's trying to bankroll his own Bond villain fantasy. Picture it. A private island guarded by MAGA parrots, a roller coaster shaped like his Twitter handle, and a gold-plated escape jet on standby for when the drama hits DEFCON1. This isn't just a lawsuit, it's a spectacle. A flex. A headline detonating power move designed to shake daytime TV to its core. And guess what? It's working. Because when someone throws down a figure that massive, you're not just watching legal drama. You're witnessing an ego detonation large enough to light up half of Hollywood. And who's caught in a blast radius? Buckle up. The names are just the start. The View, that daily chaos machine dressed up as a talk show, has become less about conversation and more like a caffeine-fueled scream fest where logic gets flattened by feelings on a daily basis. Forget nuance. If someone even hints at an opposing opinion, it's treated like a national emergency. What was supposed to be a panel of seasoned minds. It's devolved into a midday drama club where every disagreement becomes a moral meltdown, and celebrity gossip is recycled into fake political outrage. They've turned interrupting into a sport, each host trying to outsigh, outglare, and outrage the next. And in the middle of all this noise, a lawsuit that might actually be the most coherent thing in the entire mess.
Disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Imagine a table full of self-proclaimed experts who mistake eye rolls for insight. Their version of a debate? A never-ending stream of side eyes, sarcastic claps, and those dramatic, did she really just say that? Gasps that drown out actual facts. It's like watching a live-action meme, only somehow worse. And for years, this echo chamber has gone unchecked, selling overreaction like it's gospel truth. But finally, someone stepped in and called their bluff. Enter Charlie Kirk. He didn't just critique from the sidelines. He marched onto the stage, stared straight into the chaos, and dropped a $100 million legal grenade right in the center of it all. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about the money. Not even close. This lawsuit isn't paperwork. It's a megaphone. It's a loud, clear stop right there, aimed directly at the circus. Charlie Kirk isn't just suing The View. He's putting the entire spectacle on trial. A stage full of smug, overhyped nonsense trying to masquerade as meaningful dialogue. He's had enough. This isn't about clout. It's a direct challenge to the emotional theatrics and fake deep sound bites that dominate the daytime drama machine. Charlie didn't just fight back against a panel of TV personalities. He grabbed the mic mid-scream and said, "Pipe down."
Because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly give birth or whatever they teach. But I said this to our team. I said working people, the muscular class, including working women, they are so in favor of Trump, and they don't want to be called stupid or uneducated.
This isn't just a lawsuit. It's a cultural mic drop. Because The View hasn't just become annoying, it's become dangerous. It's where yelling is mistaken for intelligence, dramatic gasps are treated like policy arguments, and eye rolls pass for journalism. That $100 million figure, it's not an ego trip. It's a wake-up slap to an industry addicted to loud ignorance and viral victimhood. Charlie Kirk is drawing a line in the sand. You don't get to shout misinformation, dismiss real talk with a smirk, and then hide behind the word journalism. This lawsuit doesn't just target one show. It's aimed squarely at the beating heart of the outrage economy it fuels daytime TV. And yeah, to some, this move might seem bold, even ridiculous. But sometimes, you've got to throw a chair just to stop the room from spinning. Let's be honest. The View doesn't feel like a talk show anymore. It's a midday circus of mismatched prints and recycled outrage, a carousel of catchphrases where opinions come half-baked, facts wear the costume of feelings, and moral superiority is served as the main course. And at the center of this drama buffet, Sunny Hostin. Once a courtroom force, now more card reader than legal strategist, she's traded her law degree for on-camera theatrics. These days, she wields legal jargon like a trendy fashion piece, less serious tool, more accessory of the moment, doling out hot takes over coffee like it's skincare advice, designed to go viral, not to go deep. Somebody had to say it. This time, somebody brought a lawsuit and a whole lot of smoke.
Going to conference, were in the front of turn out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and
I think it's important that every single person that attended that turning point, every Republican speak up against the swastika, against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are
Now the irony is practically choking on itself, because Sunny Hostin, the one so quick to drop legal jargon on air, is suddenly neck-deep in a very real legal mess. And this time, dramatic pauses and pre-scripted sass won't cut it. Let's skip the tired chorus of, "They're just trying to silence strong women." No, this isn't censorship. It's consequence. Just because the show airs at noon doesn't make it immune to accountability. Daytime TV loves waving the freedom of speech flag. But when that freedom morphs into character assassination cloaked in catchphrases, don't be shocked when the legal system knocks on the studio door. This lawsuit, it's not a publicity stunt. It's a straight-up reality check. A demand for receipts from a platform that's spent over a decade amplifying unchecked noise and calling it commentary. The View has long felt like an open mic night for elite opinions, where the loudest voice wins, dissent gets steamrolled, and Fox empowerment takes center stage. They call it bold. Let's be real. It's ideological theater, tailor-made for clout and applause. Nothing's been off limits until now. Now, the curtain's being pulled back. And the question is no longer, who said it loudest? It's who's ready to prove it in court.
We begin with a shocking apology just a short time ago from the ladies of The View to Turning Point USA. A war of words broke out after the conservative group was rallying the next generation of voters at its youth summit in Tampa, Florida this weekend. And the liberal panel just couldn't help themselves. The group sent a scathing cease and desist letter after hosts on The View suggested that Turning Point had embraced neo-Nazis who showed up outside the event.
Charlie Kirk's move is simple. Stop the performance. Face the facts. After years of verbal hit and runs, someone finally hit the brakes. No more viral hot takes without accountability. No more roasting people on national TV without expecting some serious legal heat in return. The circus ran too long without a leash. Now the ringmasters are facing lawsuits. Somewhere between the dramatic pauses and commercial breaks, The View forgot one crucial truth. Going live to millions comes with strings, and sometimes subpoenas. This isn't some twisted underdog tale or a flipped David versus Goliath saga. It's about a media machine that got too comfortable throwing shade from a cushy studio, thinking there'd never be a price to pay. But now someone like Charlie Kirk is pulling back the velvet curtain and saying, enough. He's not launching a culture war. He's calling time on the nonsense. No more echo chambers. No more applause-triggered immunity. He's doing what countless fed-up viewers have only dreamed of, demanding that the loudest mouths finally face some real-world consequences. Because in today's world, where clicks beat context and hashtags drown out facts, truth can't be optional. And neither can responsibility. You want to hurl wild accusations on national television? Fine. Just don't act surprised when someone stands up and says, "See you in court." So next time the theme song plays and the panel settles in, maybe skip the popcorn. Grab a legal pad instead. The era of reckless talk with zero blowback, it might finally be coming to a close. And honestly, it's about time.
Let me kind of humble the audience a little bit. Donald Trump won by less than a point in Wisconsin, about 28,000 votes. He won by a point-ish, 1.2 in Michigan. And then he won by 1 point in Pennsylvania. And so, Megan, it is conceivable that without this record movement of youth vote, he doesn't win.
Let's be real. This isn't some fragile tantrum. It's a calculated power move. Charlie Kirk isn't throwing a fit. He's flipping the script on a show that built its brand by tearing into anyone who dared to disagree. Now, he's dragging them out of their comfort zone. No applause, no clever edits. Just cold, hard facts in front of a judge. This isn't cancel culture. This is consequence culture. And it just showed up with a court date. The irony? Chef's kiss. The View, that self-declared sanctuary of free speech, is now being forced to explain how that free speech works when it's used to smear someone's name on national television. Sunny Hostin might want to dust off that law degree, because this lawsuit isn't about ego. It's a reckoning, with receipts. Cue the panic at ABC headquarters. Legal teams are combing through transcripts like they're decoding ancient scrolls, trying to pinpoint which off-script zinger lit the legal fuse. Behind the scenes, producers are sweating, asking the real question. Can we still be spicy without triggering another lawsuit? Meanwhile, the hosts, perched on their velvet thrones, are starting to realize something jarring. Courtrooms don't come with laugh tracks or cheering sections.
Amazing. She's specifically there referring to the women, but of course it's the non-college educated men as well who voted for Donald Trump. And the nerve of this woman to whom the country has given so much to try to dump on people who didn't go to college. Look at you. Look at your achievements. How do you like the so-called uneducated now, Sunny?
Let's talk content, because for years, The View has traded insight for spectacle. It's not a talk show. It's a pageant of performative outrage where moral superiority is served with coffee and side eyes. Outrage over someone's latte order? Check. A fiery takedown over a scarf? Double check. Each segment feels tailor-made for Twitter, dramatized, edited, and packaged for viral gold. What runs the engine? Synchronized outrage. Choreographed eye rolls. Gasps time to applause breaks that sound more like self-congratulation than actual reaction. The View has become a factory for preloaded drama clips, mass-producing emotional theater like outrage is a retail product. But now they're not dealing with a trending hashtag. They're dealing with a legal clock. That blinking red studio camera has been replaced by cold, fluorescent courtroom lighting. And those grandstanding monologues, they don't hit the same when the judge's gavel drowns out your mic. For years, The View played judge, jury, and clapback queen, until someone walked in with actual court documents. Suddenly, all that confidence turned into confusion. The high-pitched outrage morphed into denial, like every panelist just got amnesia at the same time. Years of barbed jabs, personal shots, and televised takedowns. Hoof! Forgotten. All while they kept peddling character assassinations between collagen ads and foundation promos. Let's be clear. Charlie Kirk didn't just show up to play soundbite wars. He didn't pull up with a mic. He arrived with legal firepower. Subpoenas. Filings. Consequences. This isn't a revenge rant. It's a strategic checkmate. He didn't clap back, he filed back.
If a liberal came to speak at University of Kentucky, they'd give an open mic like I just did to a conservative and had a discussion like this.
I certainly hope they would.
No, they wouldn't. because speech is not a left-wing value. That is why they have to deploy shock troops called Antifa to go after everywhere I go. When I go to University of California, Davis next week, there has to be 120 police officers because of the threats, the violent threats of liberals that want me dead, that want to disrupt our events. There are no right-wing hecklers that come to events like this.
Let's be real. This isn't some conservative getting salty. This is a direct hit on a media machine dressed up as journalism, running on groupthink and glitter. The View loves to call itself a fearless forum for truth. But pull back the curtain, and what you find is a hype engine built on smug one-liners and pre-approved takes. Charlie's lawsuit doesn't just bruise egos. It shreds illusions. It calls out a system where every disagreement is a personal offense, and every dissenting view gets shouted into silence. This isn't beef with a few daytime hosts. It's a full-on confrontation with a smug empire that forgot conversation means more than coordinated outrage and synchronized gasps. The feathers aren't just ruffled. They're being ripped out at the root. This isn't just messy TV drama. It's a challenge to an entire format. One that hides behind laugh tracks, hashtags, and hot takes while bullying anyone who dares to think differently. What's happening here isn't a spat. It's a reckoning. Because eventually, even the loudest echo chamber gets called out by someone who's completely unfazed by the noise. Someone who didn't show up to argue, but to tear the whole stage down. And that $100 million price tag? Oh, that's not just a headline. That's a warning siren, blasting through every studio that thinks mockery is journalism. Go ahead, treat public figures like punching bags on live TV. But don't be surprised when one of them hits back with a lawsuit, not a one-liner. Sure, the View's ratings might spike, drama sells, but guess what else sells? Accountability. And this lawsuit brings it in bulk. The show's usual snark? That won't cut it this time. There's no fast-forward button in court, no teleprompter, just questions, evidence, consequences, and Sunny Hostin, once the legal voice at the table, now finds herself in the hot seat of a real legal firestorm. This isn't a cozy panel debate where she can casually toss around law terms between sips of tea. This is real. And courtrooms don't care how viral your last clip was. They care about facts, intent, and damage. Because when you build your brand on takedowns, don't act shocked when one lands you on the witness stand.
I say too much, but we're going to have a lot of fun at the Department of Education. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Can I tell you something? Like, I've had quite a few people contact me about that particular post. Like, I'm sure I have 1/100th of what you're getting, but people are contacting me about cabinet posts. I'm like, I got
look,
nothing.
I mean, yeah, I'm actually, after this conversation, heading to Mar-a-Lago for a week, and we have a lot to sift through, and if I could be helpful, I have asked. I want to be actively involved in all things education, as you can imagine.
Let's